Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. So today I actually have a new project. Not my car. Cars have been a project. But now I'm going to start. I did get it running today. My mini bike. And I also have some news, so I'm going to say at the end of the video. And so we're just going to get straight to work on this thing. I did fire it up today. It has the only fuel that I had put in it. Started right up. There are quite a few things that need to be fixed on it. You guys can see. One. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear that. But those bearings need to be cleaned. So does this gear. But this is going to be a complete teardown. This is going to be a 2-part video of tearing it down. We're going to take apart everything, like fenders, like the motor. We're going to take that off. We're going to get these soaking in evapor rust. Sitting over there, yellow bin. Headlight. I'm going to not do much with. It's going to get taken off. Then there's actually going to be welding on this. This kickstand, I'm going to cut that, move that right here. Like right here, I'm going to cut this kickstand and weld it on right here. Because currently where it is at, I'm also going to have to make an extension for it probably. Currently where it is at it is not, like, you see, like, even the slightest force. It will, like, when I try to pull start it from the other side, it wants to just fall right over. I want to get that fixed. And then, you guys can see it's got no chains. Those are over there, which I will show you right now. See, these are the 2 chains. You got the long chain that goes around the big sprocket right here to the little gear. Not that really rusty one, but that one right behind it. Right there. And then this little one goes from the centrifugal clutch that connects right there onto the crankshaft, and then that connects to the big gear right there. Alright, so without further interruptions or anything else, let's get into the teardown. Alright guys, we are going to start right here. We're going to take this off first, so that way I can use my press and take this out. Take off the gearing and take that shaft out and get out the bearings and clean that. So this whole assembly comes off right here. I loosened up this one just to see what size it was for an Allen. It's a 6mm on my bike. I have just about all the parts to this except for the centrifugal clutch that goes on right here. And if you guys if you're watching this and you've done like belt conversion, please let me know. Comment down below, and so that way I can make this better than it is now. And then eventually I'm going to actually redo all the paint on this. So then it will look really nice, and then I can actually sell it like I wanted to. Like I want to. I'm gonna ride it for a little bit. Because we've got a lot of open land behind my house here in Arizona that's free to public use. Like, you'll hear a bunch of dune buggies, Polaris razors, go-karts, dirt bikes. You'll hear them all behind them all day and night. So the first news that we have is we're actually going to have a channel sponsor, which that's going to be saved for another video. I want you guys to guess down below who it is, or who it's going to be. Because we all know it was going to happen eventually. Apparently we have a bolt and a nut back here. Let me see if I can get this out. Oh yeah, there it is. I got it. And there it goes. So as you guys can see, this gear is in somewhat bad condition. It shouldn't look that bad. And Here's this one. Here's the bolt that goes in back there. And a nice thing that it keeps into habit. Let me zoom in here. So you see those 4 like holes where the Allen screws just came out of? What I'll do is I'll put them in there quite a few turns. Not enough to like bottom them out, but enough just so that the bolts won't come out. And it will, like, so this is my whole plan, is I'm going to tear this whole thing down. I'm not taking off the fuel tank tonight, because tomorrow I would like to run it and drain out all the fuel there. Like, it's not a lot, but I don't want to risk just, like, spilling it all over in here and having to deal with cleaning it up. Like, you guys can see, like, all this, like, built up dirt and stuff. That's going to get washed off eventually. And then this exhaust is, so before we take off anything else, we're actually going to, well, I'm going to take out the I'm going to take off the gear, basically. I'm going to take out the gear right here. This bolt should be like a 19 or so let me go grab that. Alright guys, so we had to change plans. We're going to actually try and take this out first. I don't know entirely how this is going to work, but I'm not sponsored by this company, just so you guys know. Free all, not sponsored. It's a deep penetrating oil, frees nuts and bolts, guaranteed. I'm going to use this so that way I can take this gear shaft out of the bearing. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, but this is going to be very loud. I have my punch, and I'm actually going to get my steel hammer. It's a big hammer. Alright. So we got what I'm going to use as a punch, and we got my S-Twing hammer. This is going to be very loud. Doesn't appear to be moving. I wish I could use my press on this, but I can't. Actually, let me go see if I can try and set this up for that. Okay guys, I think I can do this. I'm gonna save you guys the time, and I'm gonna see if this method right here, like, cause it's just the width of this, and see how it takes, if it'll take it out or not. If it doesn't, then I will just find a way to take off that gear without having the gear just spin round and round. Alright guys, so I managed to get this slightly. I could just by the gear. Yeah, no. I haven't gotten it yet. Alright, I just have to cinch down the vise extremely tight. Drop it all the way down. And then we don't have a vise handle for it, so I just have to use like a really big screwdriver. And just tighten it down as much as I can. Alright. Now, nope, still wanting to roll right out of it. And I tighten that down a lot. Man, this is gonna be just like like a 3-part video if this thing doesn't cooperate. I'm using the force of a hammer to tighten it more than it is. Or then I can get it by hand. Alright. Well, actually, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and I actually grabbed our rigid Gen 5X impact driver, 1/2-inch drive. We're gonna see just a quick, oh, yeah, that worked. Nut came right off with that. I've turned it all the way up on maximum power and it worked. Alright, now comes the fun part on hitting it out of this. Alright. Looks like we have a keyway here. Oh yeah, that's right. I cinched this thing down. I'm not even sure my body weight will... Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, this gear is going to go in the evaporust. We're going to take one trip and do that. It's probably going to be a long video, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, we're going to slide this down in the vise, and then we're going to try and use a screwdriver and get out that keyway after using something to pull out the gear. I think we'll just use like a tuning, like a my massive tuning fork for that. It sounds like a good idea to me. Here it is. We got our massive tuning fork tool. Oh, actually, we're pulling that shaft through, I think. Possibly. Not entirely sure yet. No, we're just pulling the gear. Alright, and now what I'll do is I will take a nice large impact socket. Alright. Let's try this again. Throw back the impact socket. There we go. Keyway and the gear are both out. That keyway must really be stuck if it came out with the thing, with the gear. Oh no, that keyway is fine. Alright. Keyway out. That's also going to go in the evaporust. Like this little gear actually looks really good, but does have a little bit of rust on it. And we have spacer. If I can actually show you guys. And then we're going to actually throw this nut back on. And I guarantee you, if you guys have done this before, you will know why I'm doing it. So now we're going to try this with our rubber hammer first. Yeah, rubber hammer's not doing anything. And we're going to go to the steel hammer. You guys can see what it's doing is it's driving the shaft down through this way. Actually, it's taking out that bottom bearing too. 2 in 1. Just now the question is, how am I going to get that off so I can finish putting it through? I think what we can try is, I have a pair of pliers right here. Oh, it's just so slick, it ain't gonna do that. Alright. I can always try putting a I'll try to hold this just right here. Oh, that just spit it right off. There we go. We got it. Nut is back off right here. That's also going in the evapor rust. It has a little bit of rust right here. Other than that, not that big of a deal. And now, the moment I've been waiting for is this. Oh, seriously? I should have figured that was coming. Alright. Now I have to loosen up the vise again. With my freaking massive screwdriver. If you guys like the freaking massive screwdrivers, leave a comment saying I love FMS's. Capital F, capital M, capital S, apostrophe capital S. Comment that. So, I don't know if you guys can see what I see, but the reason that we couldn't take it through that other side is because we actually have this spacer in between, which is actually fairly rusted. You guys can see that. This keyway right here, that is really rusted too. This bearing is very bad. This bearing also has to be driven off on this side. That's why, because this is all buttoned out right here. So you can't force it through. So I know now. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to place this on the vise. We're going to hold it with one hand. We're going to put my massive punch and that bearing is just about all the way out. And there's the bearing. As you guys can see, there the bearing is out. I'm actually just going to use a pair of pliers right here and take off this nut. Now, I have a crescent wrench. I'm like one of those people who be like, nah, I'm just going to use this tool. But this tool could be so much better, and it's just like going back and forth between them. I'll just get a socket, actually. I'm not going to fight with it. Alright. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this. But I didn't know if you guys noticed, but a while ago, before I started doing the deconstruction, I actually cleaned my hands and put on gloves. And then, so those are all the parts that we're going to be doing for today. Let's head over to the evapor rust. Alright guys, to finish up this video, we have our parts right here. We're going to actually throw the small gear into the purple. The keyway is going to come here into the small blue. The large gear, that's just going to go straight down to the evaporust. You have the nut, that's going to go in the large purple thing. I'm actually going to try and soak these in evaporust because I don't know if you guys can see that. You guys can see there is probably rust on the inside, so I want to get that. That's also going to go in the big purple one. The big spacer, that's going to go in the little blue one. I have to dump that down in. There we go. And then we have this spacer here. That's going to go in the little blue one. And then this, I should try and, I'm not going to try to take off the bearing actually. We're just going to leave it on there. And when it comes time to clean it, we'll just pop the seal, clean it out, put a little bit of synthetic grease in it. This, I'm just going to put straight down in, right there. And then this, I'm not entirely sure this will fit. But I think we can. Yep, it fits. No, okay, I almost spilled this. Okay. Not the evaporust, I almost spilled the contents in the blue strainer. Alright, there we go. We have everything soaking in evaporust, except for the chains, which I think I should throw in right now. Get a little bit of momentum, swing it in. There's actually a lot in this evaporust. As you guys can see, it looks like I have way more than I do. This is actually just 2 gallons of evaporust right here. I diluted it down with about 3 gallons of water. I know, I normally do only about 2 gallons, like I only did about 2 gallons of water because I was running low on evaporust, but that water will actually take up space in the evaporust. Like not in the evaporust, but like the rust particles. Some of that will actually go into the water, and it actually makes it thinner and easier to strain after doing it. So those big rust particles that settle down at the bottom, whatever is still floating in the water or in the evaporust solution, it will make it easier to go through your paper towel or your coffee filter, and it filters it out, and it filters a lot of it out. But thank you guys for watching. I know this is a long video. I don't have editing software, so I can't edit out every little thing. I just have to pause it when I do. But thank you guys for watching. Come support me on Patreon. Link in the description. If you guys want to see me do like larger projects, I will be going over a list of projects tomorrow or the next day, one of the two. And that will basically show some of my future projects. It's going to be at least a few months worth of projects that I have on that list. So if you guys want to add anything after a few months, just comment them below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.